Hello, this is Mahlena Ray Johnson. That's who I am. And this is Write Your First Book with Mahlena. I am here to deliver this message, why I cape for people who might not cape for me. What is it? The subtitle, My Feminism is Intersectional. So, I'm supposed to remind everyone that if you are thinking about writing your first book, please do so. Write while you're watching this video. You know how to write, scribbly scrabble, tappity type, whatever it takes. And I'm also supposed to introduce myself. Again, I'm Mahlena, and why am I qualified to be talking about this? I mean, I'm qualified to be talking about writing your book because I have 2 degrees in creative and business. Is that I've written countless articles about analysis of media and entertainment and also higher education. And I have written 3 books, including some analysis of media and higher education representation. So let's get to the question. Let's start with the shirt that I'm wearing. So I'll stand up so you can see it. Okay, so my broadcast was interrupted briefly. So if you didn't see the shirt, I'll stand up again. And Emma, until then, Matt. So some people get the shirt immediately. One instance, one woman got it and another person didn't, and neither. Gosh, okay. Okay, so the connection keeps going out. So I should have written this in the thing, but it's Scarlett Johansson, Emma Stone, Tilda Swinton, Matt Damon. They are all involved in whitewashing in mainstream media over the past few years, and maybe longer, I don't know. But each of them was in a movie that whitewashed a character or inserted a white character where there should have been Asian people instead. So Scarlett was okay. And then Emma was playing a half Vietnamese person in Aloha, which I actually didn't have a problem with. The problem I had with Aloha was that was about a bunch of white people on Hawaii, but they didn't have any Hawaiian people in the movie, and therefore her character stood out because I actually don't have a problem with her character because there are lots of people who look white but are not actually white people. But everyone else in the movie was white, and how are you going to do that when you have your movie set in Hawaii? That's completely ridiculous. And third is Tilda Swinton. She was playing a character named the Ancient One in a recent movie, Doctor Strange. I'm going to question mark that. See, I can't even. She took over a character that was supposed to be a man of Asian descent, and then to try to back her up, and Margaret Cho was like, what? We don't even know each other. And then the last one is Matt Damon, who has had many egregious things in his past. I mean, you can look them up, Google. Specifically dealing with this shirt is that he was starring in a movie called The Great Wall about building the Great Wall of China. And Matt Damon, as far as I know and as far as he knows, is not Chinese. So why was he in that movie? This could have been a very lengthy shirt with a lot of other people on it. I didn't make the shirt, but I think it's great. So why are you wearing the shirt? Why aren't you wearing a shirt with some black people on it? Well, I'm trying to get that shirt too, but this one came up and I saw it and I liked it, and I got another shirt as well. But why aren't I wearing the shirt that says, what was it? I think Dwayne and Whitley and Ron and Kim and Freddie, which is another shirt that I'd like, specifically referencing the main characters on a different world. Well, I plan to get that shirt additionally. But why am I wearing this shirt? Why am I writing Love It a Luau, which is about a woman who happens to be Chicana and her two love interests who happen to be men of Asian and Pacific Islander descent? Why am I writing that book about those people? There are also many other characters in the book of various other ethnicities. But why, the question may be more easily worded. Why aren't you just writing about Black people? You're Black. Done. Okay, well, the other pain point is that there's a lot of anti-Blackness in the world, and Asian Americans are not immune from that. There's historical documentation of anti-Blackness in Asian American communities across the United States and across, I mean, they wouldn't be Asian American across, there would be people in the Asian diaspora, and there are multiple diasporas from the Asian continent all over the world, lots of anti-Blackness. Why are you writing about a Chicana woman when there is historically anti-Blackness in various Latino communities, including Mexican American communities, Mexican communities, various other people of descent of countries who happen to be colonized by Spain? They don't care about what you do. Lots of people are racist. Okay, why are you including who else is in the book? I don't know. There's other peoples in the book as well. So let's see. Okay. So yeah, why are you including communities like that? And I thought, and to answer that question, it's kind of difficult. I thought of when I showed my work to my husband, who happens to be a white gentleman, and said, what do you think of it? Not enough tall gingers? And he said, there's just enough tall gingers in your story. That is 0. And the truth is, yeah, I could write about a character who has the same, I guess, physical characteristics as someone who loves me more than anyone else in the world. But I didn't choose to do that because he has enough representation. He has more representation than he can even consume in multiple lifetimes. I want to write the world that I want to see, and also the world that I live in. There are lots of people around me who are not necessarily Black. And if I wrote for peoples who had no anti-Blackness in their communities, then I wouldn't be able to write about anybody, because there is anti-Blackness in Black American communities. There's anti-Blackness in Black communities all over the world. But I'm still including Black people in my stories because it just makes sense to me. And I don't want to penalize people who may want to read my story and may have anti-Blackness in their communities, because it's not their fault that it's there. It is their fault they're not doing something about it, though. So go do something. Go get your peoples and tell them to stop being racist. Tell them to stop being racist against other peoples as well who are not Black. But that's a whole discussion. There could be the question, why are you including multiple lesbian characters in your story? Not all lesbians have been supportive of Black people. That is true. There is definitely racism and anti-Blackness in the lesbian communities of United States. I could also say, why are you including gay men in your stories? They have a history of anti-Blackness, racism, sexism, misogyny. Not all of them are like that. So I decided to include gay characters in my stories, my previous stories, and my future stories. So what I want to say is that even though there are people out there who don't like my peoples, including my people themselves, which is so crazy, I still want to write the world that I want to see out there. And I encourage you to do the same too. Instead of trying to everybody from your life in your story who doesn't necessarily, as a group, embrace everyone else. Write for the world that you want to see. You don't have to include everybody in your story. That's not what I'm suggesting, because that's impossible. There's lots of people. But you can try to imagine the world as you would like to see it, and then write that story. Because there are people out there who are envisioning the world in the same way, but they don't have the ability that you do to bring that story into life. And by putting more good out into the world, while still critiquing it and trying to smash the patriarchy, please continue to smash the patriarchy, that good will multiply and will help us move forward. I want you to acknowledge that there is bad stuff like anti-Blackness, general racism, sexism, misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, all those things. But if you can write a world in which that is not the default, that is very helpful, and that's what I'm trying to do. So that's why I'm wearing my shirt, and why I will continue to wear my Hillman shirt that I actually have. I'm going to get another Hillman shirt, I forgot that. And I want to hear what you have to think. What you have to say, what you're thinking, what you're writing about. Please leave it in the comments and email me at writeyyourfirstbook with Mahlena@gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.